welcome back to the Roast Podcast, episode 34. Finally, we are back together, sitting down, in front of the camera, as opposed to doing it online, however we used to do it beforehand, before this. Yeah, it was a fucking shit show for a long time, but we're back. We are, in one another's company again and ready to, lay down some truths, I suppose.
Well, roasts. Because that's the whole base point of this podcast.
The point of the podcast.
It has been... We've never had a setup this good in the history of the Roast Podcast. And it has been... it's been like... Since the start of 2022, since we did a sit-down one. We did do the walking IRL one, which I liked.
IRL one, yeah.
That was good chats. But the camera was...
The camera was very shaky, unfortunately.
It was really dodgy. Yeah. It was like...
Hadn't invested in any stabilization technology, like, those cool handles you can buy that, automatically balance your cameras. But... sometimes you don't have the money for that.
We needed like a selfie stick. I didn't have the money for this setup. Courtesy of my brother for helping me and actually like giving me a freaking PC.
Donating the rig, yeah.
He actually gave me his old PC. I'm like, dude, that's like you sell it. Like you make a good few grand off it. And he's like, nah, it's for you. So I'm like, bruh.
That's a brother moment,
I really do appreciate it because you can't do this without a PC and...
Or at least exactly.
Enough about technical talk though. We have a lot of
We do have a lot of
cool stuff to catch up on.
Yes.
And I'll let you go first.
You let me go
if you
first.
Have something off the top of your head.
Yeah, I've got a few things I could talk about. How good everyone that I've been watching or talking to complains about how their YouTube algorithm will give them random shit every now and again. They'll just, sometimes you get your weird and wacky videos that suddenly get caught up in the tidal wave of the algorithm and will explode out of nowhere. And you just wonder what did this one do that made it go so viral? But, there's a reason that this YouTube algorithm does what it does. And I just want to say thank you to my YouTube algorithm personally because it has been on a fucking roll giving me some absolute bangers to watch. All this new stuff that I've, not ever been into or ever been privy to watching. And then it's turned up as the first thing that happens first thing that comes up when I open YouTube. I've gone, you know what? That does look interesting. Why don't I just have a look at that?
I know exactly the kind of run you've had. I've had like one of these this year where it's 2 weeks of just constantly giving you interesting like shit to watch. Short form content, long form content.
Oh,
all kinds of stuff. And it's not even from original creators all the time. It's just documentaries that are copyright from television.
Like it could be anything. Like I've gone from... How has mine pretty much progressed? It's gone from payday content, because I've started playing Payday 3. That's another thing we can talk about.
Oh, yes.
Then it's gone to Trackmania content and speedruns of Trackmania, which is the people who play Trackmania are insane. Like, these people are just crazy.
Is it really highly skilled?
Oh, it's such a crazy game to be, like, good at. These people, it's like precision... That, like, if you think of a world record for a video game, sometimes they'll get like, runs that'll shave like 2, 3, 5, 10 seconds off of a world record. Wow. These Trackmania people are fighting over hundredths of a second over records on these tracks.
Oh.
Some of them are just crazy to watch, and like the precision that they have to actually be able to drive them perfectly is crazy. And then, the YouTube algorithm will something else. Like, it'll give me it's not always a perfect golden brick road. Sometimes there's some shit on the way that you kind of think, why does that
sometimes
why does that come
repeats it as well?
Oh yeah, like it gave me Dead by Daylight content, which is a game that I'm absolutely 100% sure I'm never going to play because it just doesn't appeal to me at all. But listening to people who are passionate about it and make their content on it is interesting to watch because they're, charismatic and they can make it interesting to watch. I don't care for the game at all. Like, I have no clue about its balance, about its monetization.
It's cult following that game, I think.
Oh yeah, it's very I think it's a very ride or die game. You know,
Yeah.
if you're into it, you're into it.
The YouTubers that love it, they just don't stop making.
Oh yeah,
making video at it. Like
super toxic as well. I've heard like
all of them are.
like. I play some Rust in my time, and Rust is a very nasty game when it wants to be nasty to you. The people on Rust will be racist, homophobic, sexist, you know, every kind of phobic under the sun you can think of. They will spurt bigoted shit at you. But like compared to Rust, I've heard Dead by Daylight is pretty
worse.
whack.
Yeah.
Pretty whack. And then from Dead by Daylight content, I've been getting analog horror content, which is, bro, if I could ever make an analog horror, that would be, it would be so interesting. Some of the shit, creative shit that people come up with in their analog horrors, like I've been looking at stuff from Greylock, Mandela Catalog is a big one, of course. There's a few others, but I can't quite name them. There's Liminal Land. Yeah, but like, you know, you get caught up in them because they present them in such an interesting way that you think, wow, this is actually like really crazy. And then, you know, it's all the, you know, some of them are cliched and weird, you know, they distorted face and, you know, VHS scrambling all over the screen. But you know,
it's a good effect.
It is a fantastic effect. If you've got a good VHS effect, it'll take you to the stars, I swear. But yeah, like getting caught up in analog horror content is crazy because some of the stuff is wild.
There's a lot of like, I noticed it used to be so cliche, and now it's more like got more passion.
Like there's, I think the first sort of real takeoff of analog horror was found footage stuff, kind of like Blair Witch.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that sort of old VHS kind of cassette tape recording held by someone as they're walking through the depth of a forest or something. And then it sort of got really caught up in a lot of the I've noticed a lot of take on, you know, a lot of crossover between analog horror and the sort of liminal spaces content, which is, you know, like your giant, like your back rooms or whatever, like your giant impossible locations that stretch on and on forever.
That's like the only game I've played this year.
The back rooms.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh fuck, this is so boring. I mean, I tried it. I gave it. I like to think I gave it a shot, but it was.
Yeah, the Backrooms is as a game. The Escape the Backrooms game is definitely one for someone who's already invested in the content, I suppose, or has like a good idea of what they're supposed to be diving into, or like understands the meta
Saul Goodman lore.
The lore of it. Yeah, I suppose if you just pick it up because you see it and it looks neat. Of course, that's a perfectly valid and viable way to play your game. Just seeing it and thinking, this looks great, I'm going to play it. But, you know...
Well, that's what happened. I watched lore videos about it, and then I played the game. And it was like, it was kind of better than it would have been if I just played the game, but it was still just like, it takes ages for something to happen.
Those...
Short attention span.
Unfortunately, that kind of stuff does lend itself a lot to a very slow build up.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, if an analog horror creator or like franchise, for want of a better word, plays its hand in the first 1 or 2 episodes, you know, you might get a spike of interest, but that's not going to hold people for very long. It's not going to inspire the like creative thought that comes with trying to analyze or understand or become passionate about a certain, you know, intellectual property, I suppose, because they're not really established things. I don't know really what to call them, but yeah, stuff like, you know, Mandela Catalog, Greylock, Liminal Land that I've been watching has just been really interesting, because I always thought it was just sort of like the big flagship ones, which came, the first ones really sort of came as FNAF VHS, so Five Nights at Freddy's VHSs. Like, you laugh, but some of the shit was crazy creative. and you watch it and you think, oh, it's the kind of stuff that nowadays people will give the franchise a lot of grief over.
Yeah.
The first started off on
rightfully so, I guess.
Rightfully so. Everything deserves its criticism. But the start of FNAF had a really interesting premise, dead kids in animatronics, right? And then it became a game about the animatronics. A lot of this, the analog horror instead focused on the supernatural aspect of it instead of the mechanical, people, they went off on the animatronics because that's the part that you see. That's the part that becomes marketable, interesting. You see them, they're the threat, I suppose. But the ideas behind dying or being murdered and then essentially being trapped in a purgatory made out of this, machine, unable to pass on, is such a horrifying concept.
I think that's what drew my brother to that game.
So scary to think about that. And later Five Nights games really didn't give it the justice that it deserved. The idea that this is someone's eternity. This is how this soul is spending the rest of their days. Unless they can, somehow be freed, they're going to remain as a walking machine. It's like they really lost the train on that. But all the analog horror creators that came into and started exploring the Five Nights at Freddy's lore for these kind of analog horror things really jumped onto the idea of this is their eternity.
Yeah.
This is how they're going to be spending the rest of their time. It's some of it is awful. Some of it really wrenches at you and you think,
but it's good when people take an idea and then take the good parts of the idea and get rid of all the crap that they shouldn't have added to it in the original.
Oh, absolutely.
You get better iterations of the same idea.
Yeah, of course you've got your Puritans who really love the first party stuff that comes from a franchise. But a lot of the fan-made stuff, the meme of the Five Nights at Freddy's fan game, there's tons of awful ones, really, really bad ones that just aren't worth the time. But then some of them are really, really good. Some of them look great, play great, have great, are really, whoever's made them has really thought about where they would go or how they would function in terms of the lore. Yeah. Some of them, take an alternate spin on a certain thing. I watched a gameplay of one where the machines are built so that they only have their top halves because they're animatronics. They don't need legs to sit behind something and play the role of whatever they're going to be playing the role of. But that means that when they come at you, they crawl along the ground, trailed by wires and stuff sticking out of their spines, I suppose. And that's just an awful looking thing.
Abomination
that just comes out of the darkness at you, and you think, holy shit, that's a lot scarier than if they, strode out of the darkness. They're lunging and they've got no legs, and it's them not having legs lends an extra edge of inhumanity to them that really sort of heightens the scares of it, I suppose.
Absolutely.
But it's all the spins, all the different looks, the analysis and stuff. Yeah, it's been
stuff like The Thing that inspired all sorts of video games,
shapeshifters and body snatchers and stuff like that. Oh yeah,
shapeshifters. I love that in fantasy.
Oh yeah,
horror.
A good shapeshifter will go a long way. I've been in a D&D campaign for a while now, and one of the characters has an ability that allows them to essentially project their voice, but they can change their voice to whatever voice they like. So it's essentially like ventriloquism plus, I suppose. But we recently used that as they projected a voice of a demon or something that frightened this group of mercenaries, because we were too low level to take on the mercenaries. Yeah. We could tell that if we fought them, it would either be a really dark victory or we'd just get wiped. So we decided that we were going to try and scare them off in another way. So they projected their voice, and then my character used a lightning spell to pretend that this demon was attacking them out of the shadows.
Yeah.
And we succeeded. Of course, we got the high rolls that we were required to get in order to succeed in scaring them. But we did. It was like, this lateral thinking of trying to appear as something we're not. It was pretty good. Like that was a good session, I think. But like, yeah, a good shapeshifter. We haven't met a real shapeshifter yet in our D&D campaign, but I think there's one on the horizon. But if there is, then we're gonna have to be wary of it because they can be nasty.
So the biggest, I'm really interested in the aspect of like shit talking in certain games, because when you mentioned that, one came to my head earlier. I know this is like 10 minutes ago. But one came to my head really quickly, and it was that famous Xbox video of the guy saying that the kid, he's like, I forgot what he said at Xbox Live, but he's just like, kid, honestly, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. My burns are way sicker than yours. Watch this riff, and he just plays this guitar riff.
Plays his guitar riff through Xbox Live. That's if you can find that video, that would be awesome.
I can bring it up like straight away. It won't go through the mic.
But like just to watch.
Just letting you guys know, sorry, we do export them as soon as they're recorded, so we don't add videos over the top on the Roast Podcast. Might do some Roast Podcast clips, though, for you guys.
We could.
And just add that in the description. So you guys have, the video context. I watched it the other day.
Or maybe we'll try and fix up a setting so that you can play it on the screen here, and it'll come up for us to watch.
I could easily do that. I don't know why.
Is this it?
Yeah. See if it goes in the mic.
Hey, you're just mad because I'll be able to do something with my fucking guitar in hands that you'll never be able to achieve in your entire life, kid. So yeah, you're gay.
That is beautiful. That is peak, like, shit talking. That's awesome. I love that.
He's like,
so yeah,
like
you're
40.
gay. you're just jealous because I could do sick shit with my guitar. I'll never be able to do 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 do. That's so good. I loved. I haven't seen that one before, but I really like that one.
Oh, that gets recommended to me like every week. But here's the issue with my YouTube algorithm. I watch the same shit over and over, so it just recommends me the same shit over and over. Like, there's this video of this woman trying to do an insurance fraud, and I click on it every time it recommends it to me because it's so funny. She hides on the side of the road, waits for the car, and then jumps in front of the car and pretends to get like horribly hit by it to try and get some money.
And pretend that she's been mortally wounded.
And the driver backs off, goes around both and the guy drives off. And it's like Aussie dash cam videos, obviously. Everyone loves those. It's like one of their most viewed videos.
That's fantastic.
And it's just, it's so satisfying to watch. Every time I just watch it.
Stupid girls like, boom, and then you just try. That's, wow. I love that. I haven't seen it.
It never gets old. It literally...
never gets old.
I'll bring it up for you after, because we can't just keep playing obviously a bunch of videos to each other from our phone on the podcast.
No,
the viewers, it's
that'd be
nauseating for the viewers. Yeah. But definitely look that one up, guys. It is hilarious.
You got a name for it, or?
I think it's called Brown Plains QLD Driver Attempts to Claim Insurance. Type that up and you'll definitely get it, because it's got like 7 million views. It'll come straight away.
Yeah.
It's a classic. Speaking of cars hitting things, though, I have a great story.
Oh no, did you hit something?
Yes.
Bro,
I hit something with my car, not someone with my car. So there is... It's a big difference, I swear.
Yes.
So I was working Menulog earlier this year, and I was just grinding the shit out of that because I wanted to just get a good nest egg of money before I move on to a proper job in media and something that is an actual
nudge.
Look, buddy,
you're doing more than I am, so you're on the right track.
Bro, you weren't gonna get the hospital. That's a great job.
Yeah, no, but I mean like as a job in multimedia.
No, well, you get there eventually with animation.
Yeah.
It's a process. Animation.
It is a process.
Most people that animators are much older. Typically, you don't see a lot of young animators.
No, not really.
Because you got to learn it over a long period of years. Sorry, getting off topic. But what happened was, I'm driving over my Menulog shift, and I'm about to go home, and then someone beeps me for an order. And I go to the restaurant and no one's there. They're closing up. And the guy's just like, bye. And he's in the back and all the lights are off. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? So I have to go to tech support, tell them to like cancel my order. And then my shift ends. So I drive home. The Briars, in Mount Martha. You know that
so.
stretch of road that goes past that, and there's like a creek, and it's like a little shitty bridge.
I think you've showed me that before.
It's we might drive there today, so I can show you anyway today. But actually, I'm kind of doxing myself a little bit there. That's all right. We've done that heaps on this podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm driving home, and I'm going along at night. It's really, really pitch black, no moonlight, and all of a sudden, 2 fuck-ass kangaroos come in front of my car.
No. Bro, no. Don't tell me.
And I hit them instantly because it was about half a second.
Yeah.
Before I hit them, before they jumped out, and I was like right there. But I hit them. They're hopping. So let's try. My car's coming along. They're hopping. There they are, right in front of my headlights. And they hop, and as I impact them, they're both touching the ground because my car's really low to the ground.
Yeah.
If they were hopping, they would have gone straight through my windscreen.
Ooh, yes.
Into the front cab and would have thrashed around because they're just been hit by a fucking car.
Yes.
So I hit them both straight away. They both died instantly. And I fucking love kangaroos. I'm Aussie, of course. It was pretty shit.
Yeah, I hate to see it.
One was very big and one was like smaller. So I think it was a dad and it's Joey that was a bit older. So that was really disappointing. My car was smashed up, something awful. But as they came right in front of my car, I literally like as loud as I could. And I genuinely it's one of those helpless situations where you're like, well, if I die, I die. That's it.
Yeah.
Not high odds to die, but if they come in through the windscreen, all bets are off, essentially.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But I just couldn't believe they didn't go through the windscreen. I was like, no fucking way.
You got very lucky, it sounds, yeah. If they were both on the ground and actually were struck by the front of the car,
they died straight away.
Going up and coming straight through the windshield, you'd be... Yeah, probably be in a far worse state if they did that.
And you can attest because you've been in my car a few times. It's very low to the ground.
Yes.
So how they didn't go through the windscreen, and I'm going on an uphill incline as well. So even if they're just a little bit off the ground jumping, they still somehow slide through my windscreen. 'Cause my windscreen, this is probably not a good thing to admit, but if I don't have music playing, you can hear it kind of shuddering a little bit. It's the sealant isn't in all spots because it's in a bit of an old car. It's like 2009 Ford Falcon Ute.
Oh no!
And it is it's a bit ancient. But yeah, that's it. It's a nice car, I guess. It's not anymore. But
it's not anymore.
It wasn't a write-off. It wasn't a statutory write-off. There's a difference between a write-off and a statutory write-off. I had to learn this after this happened. But yeah, we're getting the car delivered back, and we're gonna try and fix it. It's gonna take a long time to try and fix, but the front headlights smashed in, and all the mechanisms behind that are destroyed.
Yeah.
And the side, whatever it is, metal thing, I forgot what it's called. Dad knows it. Side front panel is destroyed, and I need a new bonnet. So there you go.
Yeah, lots of expensive damage potentially.
And
probably.
then 5 days later, because I really needed the money at the time. I didn't really need the money. I was trying to save up a lot for the future because I knew I wasn't going to stop. I wasn't going to do menu log. I backed into a car, so that was fun in a parking lot. What happened was, because I'm a really shit driver, what happened was I turned into Hungry Jack's. I looked to my right, and there's all these free car spots. And it's like late at night. I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever, can't be fucked. But a car was pressing towards me, trying to go past me. So I'm like, all right, I'll back into all these free parking spots. And this is me being lazy. I'm like, not even going to look back. Because there's no way a car was tailgating me and just randomly parked behind. There's no way. No, it did. Because the Menulog drivers and the Uber Eats drivers, they just go... You notice how when you see them driving, they drive like freaking maniacs?
They drive like maniacs,
because they haven't driven much. And this guy admitted to me he's had multiple crashes after I backed into him.
Ooh.
So I don't think I have to pay excess, which is very lucky. I might have to, but we'll see how we go. But it's been a long time since that happened, and still all this red tape got to cut through with that. But it was so fucking bullshit. And it took me ages because I was pissed off that I made the mistake. It took me ages to realize that he was right behind me, and I remembered looking to my right and seeing a row of just empty car spaces. Yeah. So always use your mirrors when you're parking. Don't be like me and get into a bad habit and then have an accident because you're in a bad habit.
Yeah, we've all got our bad driving, I suppose, but like Thankfully, most of them aren't lethal, like
mine,
like yours, or at least dangerous to people and property.
Like and animals.
And animals.
Yeah. Hey, the kangaroos. What are the odds?
What are the odds? To be honest, like
two I
of them
perfectly hit them. What are the odds? Like there's such slim odds for me to not only hit them but not have them go through my windscreen, because they always go through windscreens. There's so many videos, like that famous one where look, it's a fucking kangaroo. That's not from the actual vid. That's someone doing a voiceover added to a different incident in the outback. But like, all I was thinking was that video as well when it was happening. I was like, of all the things to think, why am I thinking of the look, it's a fucking kangaroo. Bruh. I literally would have been in the front and the kangaroo would have been like thrashing. I'm just like,
either that or it would have hit you straight on and
glass.
Then glass
Everywhere.
and, you know.
Would I have known to use my brake? Because where I'm going up to, there's these two hills. You might know this road now. Mm-hmm. Two hills that go like that.
I think
and
so.
The road is like, the side of the road, like bikes go through there. And there's no room for them, but they still go through there. And I would have gone up this hill and done a full like fucking and flipped my car probably if I couldn't see and I didn't know how to use the brake, or if I was just too.
You weren't on the brake at
by.
the time, yeah. That's fucking rough. I mean, you know.
Cool story though for a podcast.
Cool story though to be able to remind, well, I got into a grievous accident.
I had an accident. I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh god. Oh my gosh. Well, we may as well update. What do you think of the switching?
What do we think of the switching? I think it's fantastic.
How cool is it? Like, we've waited so long.
To have an actual setup compared to either just a camera off to one side or a camera in front of us and one of our phones.
Some of the shit we used to do.
Some of the setups that we used to have to try and get a podcast out were tragic.
We'll talk more about that in the 5-year anniversary special, because it's coming up 5 years since our first one.
Yikes.
And I think, personally, 34 episodes in 5 years just shows that every episode is quality, not quantity. And maybe a bit of laziness, not
maybe a bit of
episodes.
laziness, yeah. You know, life catches up to you sometimes.
It does. You
gotta understand, you know, sometimes we've got things going on.
Yeah.
And, you know...
And it only took us, 5 fucking years to...
Get a proper setup.
to have this,
and this. Yeah, exactly. It's just like this. Well, I personally don't have any space for it at my place, or if I did, it would be like the overwhelming majority of like my room or something.
Do you have an NVIDIA NVENC graphics card in your computer? I know it's very specific.
I think it's an NVIDIA.
Because this, I think, needs it. This OBS 4K Camlink, whatever it is, needs that. I could technically bring this and the webcams to your house and my Camlink, but you're right. There is no
there's no real spot to do it. Yeah,
you'd have to like be facing your like. You'd have to like turn chairs around, and it's like facing the desk, and it would be a bit
of a bastard, to be fair.
But thank you for driving here though, because this is where the setup lives.
This is where the setup lives, and you know, haven't been down in a while, so figured I might as well come visit.
Visiting Mount Martha. You've been forced to visit here since you were a little kid.
It's a good time.
That's a good topic, actually. Memories that you have, because I can't picture what it's like for you visiting the forest and all the pollen.
All the pollen, yeah.
What happened? Did Matt get like all this pollen all over him, and he just got destroyed? Like,
I think he was
got like sick from it. Or
really sick from something. It could have been like a bite, or just the pollen, or something, or just like he brushed up against a plant. Who knows? But he did. I do remember he got sick of something, and I'm not sure what it was.
Bruh, because I remember one trip I took you guys in the forest. I'm like, yeah, come on in. And we went in like this really dense bush area, because I was just I was such a freaking little rat kid. I mean, I still am. Look at the hair. Yeah. But I literally tortured him and his brothers. Like, come into the forest. Oh, there's no actual track. Just like walk in, just like all these fucking between bushes. The trees, yeah. And
on this very vague path,
covered in like all these itchy fucking plants and shit and all this. You don't know what's in the freaking forest.
Exactly.
Vague path. It's a path.
Vague path.
Is there a path here? Yeah, it's there. It's somewhere. You just keep walking.
You'll find it eventually. Either that or you stumble upon the box of nangs. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, that
I
was
remember that.
fucked.
That was on a podcast. If you know, like episode 3.5, because it wasn't a full episode. It was like a 10-minute little mini recording. We were there.
We walked up to the campsite or something.
And there's nangs everywhere.
There's just a box of nangs and they're scattered everywhere.
Yeah, mate.
To whoever may not know what a nang is.
Explain what a nang
You're
is
really
to
missing out.
non-Australians. Oh yeah, guys.
Oh yeah. It's I think it's nitrogen dioxide. It's basically like a creamer. It's called a creamer, and it's supposed to like desserts to make, you know, whipped cream or whatever more fluffy. But people use it to get high. So they'll just open the thing up and it comes in a little metal tube thing.
From any local supermarket store near you.
You can genuinely just buy them from fucking anywhere. I'm pretty sure you can just buy them from anywhere, which is the wild thing, because people will use them to go crazy
Joe's
high.
Quick Stop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Probably the milk bar on your street.
Yeah, if you ask, they'll have something like that.
Wait, you've asked before?
No, I haven't.
I've got friends who used to do nangs and did all sorts of shit. Acid, weed,
Yikes.
MD.
Like nangs
It's
is
a popular one.
nangs are pretty tame compared to. It'd be like, from what I gather, nangs are pretty tame compared to some other drugs. They're like, you know, really.
It's a good point.
Soft, or like the high that you get from them isn't quite as intense. It's also supposed to be quite quick, from what I've heard.
Cordial for teenagers.
Yeah, like you cordial for teenagers. Fucking hell.
Fuck.
Oh, bruh. Like,
wait.
bruh.
That's a good clip.
Like, you take a nang, like a single one, and then I think the high is 5 or so seconds or something. It's really, really short. So that's why you often find huge clusters of the things. And it is just aluminium stuff, so I'm pretty sure it's like super easy to recycle, but yeah. You stumble upon
Recyclable
friendly, yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, if there's one good thing about nangs, it's that they're recyclable. You know, you got to look on the bright side.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Exactly.
Oh no. I mean, that was like that's got to be one of the top forest memories.
Pretty much finding the big
top ramen.
Oh, bro.
A bunch of nangs.
Finding a big bunch of nangs.
But like, I used to make you guys film all these sorts of movies and go into the forest to all sorts of different abandoned tree houses and abandoned spots deep in the woods. There's a few videos, or there's a few good times with friends where I was like my 18th birthday. I'm like, guys, it's my 18th birthday. We're doing something special. I'm taking you all into the forest.
Bro, that's some serial killer shit. We're all going into the forest.
Well, it was a big group. It wasn't just one person. So I was fucking... it was good because I took them in the most remote spots.
Oh, bro. Couldn't just be like on the track, the normal beaten path.
No, I took them like... It was actually pretty close to here when we were in like the real like... mesh, the freaking.
That's because some of the deepest spots are just around the corner.
But I mean, it was awesome. Like it was a good time, and my friend gave me pushed me. It's like, move quicker, like trying to get home, and I fell over like a tiny tree and broke the tree.
Oh, damn!
And it was just a much bra moment.
Big bra moment.
No, it was funny. That was good stuff. And then there was another time where I filmed. It's on video. It's still in a playlist where I took friends in there and they were drunk and they were very angry. Mainly my friend Matt was very angry to be in there.
Why? What was wrong with it? Was it like super late at night?
It was very late at night. And he was one of those dudes who just likes to stay home in the house and have a few brewskis. Yeah. And then just go to bed and then retire to bed. And I was like, that's not happening tonight. We're going into the forest, baby. And
he's like, no, don't like that.
Probably the coldest night of the year as well.
Of course. If you're going into the forest, it's either going to be on the hottest night Or the coldest night.
The hottest night is pretty cool in the forest. Did you go up the treehouse, the big one, the 3-story
Well,
one?
I never went up it.
But you went to it.
I went to it.
Yeah.
I've seen it, but I never went up it
that was
because
my question. Actually, technically, I didn't. If you saw it, if you just saw it at all, because it's not there anymore.
no, I have heard that it is no longer there.
I think it collapsed naturally though.
I thought 2 of the stories came down, and then one was remaining. And
the top one, I think, was still there, but I never went up it when it was just the top one. I don't think, because one of them, the first story caved in, and then the top one, and then the third story, which is just a roof, I was still there. But then, not long after that, the whole thing was just demolished because it was a bit of a hazard to kids. I think someone just demolished the rest of it. But when the first one caved in, I actually thought it just was weather. I didn't think someone intentionally did it, but people intentionally did damage the shit out of that thing. Like when my brothers built it, there was like windows, like electricity.
bro,
it didn't really work. You run it to a battery, but yeah, it was fun.
That's wild though. I love that.
We did an episode once from there though, guys, so check. That's in the playlist. It's not public.
Is that where we were under the tree and
yeah
that
was epic, but
that was a good time.
Good times.
Yeah, I mean I couldn't stomach the going up the tree. It was just way too tall, way too high up for me.
Oh, it's so freaking high up. We used to have a ladder.
Yeah,
we used to have a ladder made out of tree branches that was so cool, and only one friend of mine I ever took up there because it got taken down like not that long after it was built. It was there for like a year, and one friend I took up there, and it was pretty cool. But yeah,
damn,
it's good fun. I only have like 1 or 2 video memories of friends and I actually in the treehouse, and it's like it just takes me back. There was one night where I went up there. I was very drunk, and that probably wasn't smart. But
no, probably not.
Going up that, imagine trying to get up there drunk, let alone just trying to get up the treehouse.
Get up the treehouse normally. No, I don't like the idea of that. Especially drunk. Goddamn, you'd be like, oh, there's the thing, and then you'd just fall like 2 stories and.
Oh no!
At least it had like a big array of like nettle blades on the ground. You know
the cushion you fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, metal blade. The pine needles.
Yeah, the pine needles.
It's just dirt there now. It's a. I could take you there if you want to go. It's fucking hot today. Maybe later on.
Yeah, when it's all calmed down.
That's another good point. We literally like. There's not many in Australia. There's not many like really hot days in October and September and November. There's very few. And the one day you come and visit, it's 30 degrees in Mount Martha, and it's never like 30 here. It's like 30 in the city. It's always like. You know, like
you guys
25.
Get sea breeze.
We get all this sea breeze.
So you guys are like getting it way cooler, but my car was saying it was like fucking 35 when I was driving. So
oh, because you're going through Penlink, that would have been friggin' nearly. It's much hotter in that sort of spot because there's no bay breeze.
Yeah,
changes everything. If anyone visits Australia from overseas, or anyone is there anyone watching this who lives overseas?
I'm not sure. But if there are, comment down below. Let us know.
Guys, let us know. If you're from overseas, give us a buzz. Because we want to know. Because the thing about Melbourne is if you go in a city and it's 24 degrees or 25 degrees,
it's more like 28 or 29.
And if you come here when it's 24 or 25 degrees, it's more like 19 or 18 degrees. Fucking weird. I don't know how to explain it. But
it's all about the wind.
This summer, what's it called? El Nino?
El Nino, yeah.
El Nino?
I think it's El Nino actually this year.
El Nino.
And it's going to be
40.
Fucking hot.
40 every day.
Ridiculous. I'm just not going to be able to survive, bro. I swear.
You need a special thing from your outside your room that goes into that little pool, that little spot. You just jump in.
I can just jump straight in. That would be nice. Goddamn.
It's like a little hatch. Intense. Yeah, a little escape hatch.
Yeah, straight down into the pool.
It's a slide that goes from your bedroom to your pool. That'd be fucking awesome. That'd be so good. Screw the resale sale of the house. Fuck that. Just build a slide there and make it amazing.
And you'll be all good. Yes.
Oh god, it's so terrible. Well, Halloween's coming up, and we might. Halloween's.
Is it big around here? Because I don't know what it's like since I've moved.
Well,
but
It's-
like the place that I used to live, it kind of wasn't too huge. Of course, we're not big. We don't get a big Halloween like America.
We do more now than we used to. It used to be dead when I was a kid. But
But we've been Americanized more and more, so we get more and more big America things like big Halloween.
Some things I like that with Halloween, but other things, Americanizing Australia really pisses me
It really
off.
sucks. Like every single fucking sale buy from like a restaurant or something will ask for a tip.
Oh, we
like-
should talk about this actually.
So
Because
annoying. Every time, like I'll go to the store, I'll go to the shop to buy like a HSP or something, and the point of sale machine or the software that they use will ask for a gratuity for a tip, and you're like, this is Australia. We don't pay
tip people.
We don't tip people. We don't. Tipping is supposed to be to make up for the piss poor wages that they get as servers and stuff in the US.
Yeah.
It's, corporations and companies handing off the responsibility of paying their employees to the customer, which is very rough and allows for a lot of legal shit.
Kind of checks out nearly now in Australia though, because the amount of cost of living and the cost of supermarket,
cost of living,
just buying food is
skyrocketed,
fucked.
and it is not good. It's so bad.
It's fucking awful. I've been wanting to move to the city like 4 or 5 times, and every time I went to do it, and I was like, oh, never mind. That was a fun idea I had in my head. I'll just chill here in Mount Martha.
Mount Martha. In case you didn't hear it,
Mount Martha. That'll sound cool in playback.
That was pretty sweet.
It is.
Totally unprompted. We
Oh,
found our synchronicity.
What are you This is never prompted.
Never prompted. We come in with a vague idea of what we're going to say, what we're going to do, and just let the talking happen.
It's actually pretty accurate though for this episode.
Yeah, to be honest.
We didn't set up anything.
We didn't really set up much.
I can't believe that has flown by. It's 42 minutes.
42 minutes. Ooh. Time flies when you're having fun.
Well, we are, yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's
Most
what I'm
of
saying.
the time I say that, I say it sarcastically. So, I'm glad someone said it without suck, I hope.
No, I meant it.
Yeah. I mean,
sometimes I'll say it at work, and that when I say it there, it's
They
sarcastic.
know.
Yeah.
They know when you're at work. The hospital, though, it's a great place.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all.
I've never been to that hospital.
And thank you, lucky stars, that you're not having to go to hospital. But yeah, like, the only problem is that they like to keep it a balmy 22 in the fucking office.
Bruh.
And I melt every single time I arrive at work. It's like, just turn the thing down. Like, I've found them as well. Like, they've got, I think it's a HVAC system. So there's supposed to be things on the wall that you like interact with, and you can turn them down.
Yeah.
But every single one of the wall controllers is just like a dummy plug thing where it's just a little circuit board with a single like input to say this one isn't active. And it's like, where's the actual controller for it? Where can I turn the blasted air conditioning down? Because it's so hot sometimes.
Well, that's why, like, just as a precaution, I was going to get rid of these fans. And then I remember, like, this thing, like, you might get too hot. Like, I'll probably get too hot. Probably good idea to have like 1 or 2 fans running in here, and it's actually quite nice. Is it too hot, or is it?
No, it's pretty good.
Whip on another fan. Well, I reckon that's a good spot to wrap it up. We're gonna do another one, hopefully.
Yeah.
If you want. Probably not straight away, but at some point later on.
Maybe come up
today,
with some more stuff to talk about.
Come up with some more stuff. I would like to do a Halloween special and a 5-year anniversary, but we might mesh the Halloween special and the 5-year anniversary into one episode. But we'll see how we go.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, there's all sorts of different ways we can do it. And if comment about the camera angles, guys. If
don't go too crazy on them.
Jesus, that's so shit. Sorry if you got epilepsy. Fuck.
That was bad, bro.
But thank you guys so much for watching episode 34 of the
Episode
Roast
34.
Cast, the Roast Podcast.
It's good to be back.
It's great to be back, and hopefully the next episode we have a roast on our hands, because I think I've got a few.
I think I have
roasts.
a few as well.
You can't call it the Roast Podcast.
Can't call it the Roast Podcast. This is
being
easing.
a whiny little bitch.
This is easing back into the roast. Sometimes you gotta come.
It's a good point.
Come and view some, positivity.
Exactly.
But we've got some people to roast. and some stuff to roast next time, I suppose.
There's always people to roast.
There's always people to roast.
If you like us, no. We're actually pretty nice people. The Roast Podcast.
I'd like to think so.
It's probably not a fitting name for us.
No,
but it's a good name.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun, you know.
And the 5-year anniversary special is coming up very soon. And in the first episode, before I wrap this thing up, sorry, the first episode, I didn't know this until recently, you came up with the name Roast Cast in an episode. So
did I?
I
thought I came up with it off camera.
Nah, that was really cool to listen back to. So
Damn.
Yeah. But more coming soon, guys. Subscribe, like, and we're gonna make some titles that get in that fucking algorithm.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna get caught up in the tidal wave of the algorithm. So hopefully, you'll see some more from us.
Say goodbye to this camera.
Bye.
I'll sign off this camera. Goodbye.
And then we'll both sign off the main one.
So fucking. Bye, guys.
Bye.